He's asking, what is bias in a tape machine? Is it okay if I take just a quick minute to explain bias?
Let's do it.
So basically, tape is it's a strip of PVC plastic, and on top of it is magnesium oxide. And magnesium oxide, as the name suggests, magnesium is made of really, really small magnets we call domains. And the way that we impart electronic signal into tape is when you put a very small, slight electric charge across this magnesium oxide, it causes, if we're in a positive, let's say we're sending a positive DC signal off the tape machine's record head, it causes all of the magnets to align in a specific direction, right? And so if we have an oscillating positive negative or sine wave, right, in its most fundamental uh, uh, configuration, as the tape moves past, it's changing the position of these domains. They turn themselves around to orient to whatever the voltage is that's being passed through the record head of the tape machine. As a way of getting those, you can imagine that high frequencies, they happen so fast that those domains have to move very quickly to be able to get to where they're supposed to go to stay where they're supposed to stay. So in order to get them ready to go, we have something called biasing that we add to the tape just before we record on it. And what it is it's basically a hiss that just excites all the high frequencies in the tape to get them moving so that they're already moving by the time the signal gets there. So that they're an object in motion is tends to stay in motion, right? It's physics, basic physics. So this way, the bias is exciting the high frequencies of the tape, loosening them up so that they can receive the high frequencies and be more accurately preserved. If they had to come from a standing still, they wouldn't get all the way to where they're supposed to go, and we would get a roll off of high frequencies on the tape. So this is a way of biasing the tape. We can over bias the tape, and then it gets really kind of hissy and high frequency sensitive. Properly biased means that we get we get back exactly what we put in terms of high frequency, and it behaves more like flat, not exactly flat because tape is never flat, but it gets better. It's more accurately translatable that way. So a machine that is poorly biased or biased poorly on purpose, it's one of the ways we used to take a bright mix that we could just dull down an entire mix just by turning the bias down. Yeah, it's like tuning the tape, right? It's like tuning the sensitivity to high frequency of the tape. It's like sometimes it's called preemphasis is another term used for it sometimes.
What I also find interesting about that, like I know now even on emulation plugins there's like a bias knob, but in one of my videos I interviewed Nick Berg, and he was talking about how bias was actually like a huge revolution for magnetic tape. In fact, magnetic tape as a technology existed across different nations, and in the United States we still used wire because magnetic tape sounded horrible. And then I think prior or during World War II, the Germans had developed, I think by accident actually, this bias. Is that true? Like,
I don't think it wasn't by accident. They developed the magnetophone.
well, I thought that like there was some story, and it may not be true, but I thought it was like some sort of like loose voltage got on there, and that's how they were like, oh, that sounds a lot better. And yeah, it's an amazing story. I don't know. That might be not true, but it is true that bias was a revolutionary technology.
It's very un-German to admit that an innovation was a mistake.
Yeah, yeah, the whole phantom power thing too.
Yeah, yeah.